were driving so fast, blurring all the lines, ignoring the warnings and all of the signs. Headlights cutting through the thick foggy air, thinking the journey would take us somewhere. The map said it was progress, the road felt so free. Lost in the moment, just you and me. But the pavement just stopped, the path is erased, standing in the silence of a future we chased. No U-turn to take, no way to go back, just a vertical drop where we went off track. We ran out of road, ran out of gas, had our love stead and nothing's built to last. The car is still running, the radio's low, but there's nowhere left for the tires to go. Just brushing some darkness where the shoulder should be, a sudden stark stop to our shared destiny. I'm sitting here frozen, my hand on the gear. The terrible truth is finally clear. But the pavement just stopped, the path is erased, standing in the silence of a future we chased. No U-turn to take, no way to go back, just a vertical drop where we went off track. We ran out of road, ran out of gas, had our love stead and nothing's built to last. We can't push forward, can't force the way through. There's no other chapter for me and for you. It wasn't a slow fade, it wasn't a fight, just a sudden collision of wrong and of right. And now we just sit here, the silence so loud, underneath the permanent gray cloud. But the pavement just stopped, the path is erased, standing in the silence of a future we chased. No U-turn to take, no way to go back, just a vertical drop where we went off track. We ran out of road, ran out of gas, had our love stead and nothing's built to last. Our love's dead and nowhere else to drive, just two broken people barely still alive. Gotta turn the car off, step out in the cold, the saddest, sharpest story that was ever told. Engine shuts off, silence. We drew the windows with crayon, we signed our names in the wet cement of dreams. Careful, careful, everything it catches fire so easily. We built it room by room on a shaky kitchen table, blueprints made of maybe and what if we're able. Walls from the letters you never sent, we're from the promises we only half meant. You said it's only paper but it feels like home. I believed you more than I've ever believed stone. We hung a chandelier of Christmas lights, pretended they were stars every single night. Laughed at the thought of storms coming near, 'cause love was the glue and we had plenty here. We lived in paper houses, darling, thin enough to tear with a sigh. We swore the wind would never find us, but the wind learned how to lie. Every match we struck looked like magic till the whole damn street went bright. We lived in paper houses and we burned them down every night. The bedroom was a postcard from some better year. The hallway smelled like coffee and you disappeared in fear. We kept the doors unlocked for the future to walk in. Didn't know the future carried gasoline. You said if it falls, we'll just build again. I kissed the ink off your paper thin skin. We were so careful not to fall till the creases turned into holes. We lived in paper houses. We lived in paper houses, darling. Fragile as the words stay. We painted the cracks with forever, but forever washed away. I still find scraps of us in the ashes. Little love notes curled black and white. We lived in paper houses and we burned them down every night. I kept one wall, just one, is taped above the bed where I come undone. Your handwriting still says this is real enough for us, and I trace it like a scar I can't give up. We lived in paper houses, babe. We were beautiful and blind. Now I'm sleeping in the wreckage, trying to read smoke like a sign. If I ever build again, I'll use something stronger. Brick, steel, all the truth this time. But I still miss paper houses and the way you made them mine. Careful, careful. Everything is still catches fire. Everything here still smells like you. The calendar's been tortured. The days have turned to years since the day we spoke our last words and confirmed our biggest fears. I'm broken hearted, yes I am. I'm blue since the day we parted. But I look into the mirror and I see that I have started to gather up the pieces, to sew up every tear. Though the landscape is a wreckage, somehow I'm still here. I'm still here, breathing the air that you don't share. I'm still here, surviving the despair, one foot after the other, moving through the fear, knowing that somehow I'll make it through this year. Yeah, the fire burned me deeply, the smoke is getting clear. I'm bruised and I am battered, but I'm still here. The silence used to scare me. The ghost would scream your name. I thought I'd never function, thought I'd never break the chain. I used to need a crutch to stand, a reason just to try. Now my own 2 feet are walking underneath this open sky. The weight is getting lighter, the darkness starts to thin. I'm finally finding the courage to let the healing in. I'm still here, breathing the air that you don't share. I'm still here, surviving the despair, one foot after the other, moving through the fear, knowing that somehow the author of my fate. I found my strength within myself before it was too late. Yeah, I'm finally still here, moving through the fear, making it through here. I'm still here. The garden is empty now, the roses are all gone. The place where we spent hours from dusk until dawn. The center of it all was a sundial made of stone, a silent way of watching all the time we used to own. Time stood still, it felt like when I was close to you. But the sundial shows the minutes passing through and through. Every hour a reminder of what we used to be, a shadow moving slowly for the world to see. A silent, stony witness to a love that couldn't last. The sundial keeps on ticking, counting out the past. It measures every heartbeat, measures every tear. A lonely, empty timepiece for every wasted year. You were the sun in my sky, the center of my day, casting shadows of our future in a perfect, hopeful way. But the sun has set on us now, the daylight starts to fade. The sundial only works when promises are made. Now there is no sun to guide it, no light to cast a line, just a cold and empty stone that marks this life of mine. measures every heartbeat, measures every tear. A lonely, empty timepiece for every wasted year. Every wasted year. Sitting here alone, waiting for the light to reappear. The sundial knows how slowly time goes here. The sundial knows how slowly time goes. The station clock hits 12:05 a.m. The platform's cold and dark. I'm standing in the shadows, waiting for a final spark. The tracks are still shining, leading somewhere else, but I'm stuck here in the middle, lost inside myself. The engine light is coming, the rumble starts to grow. The last chance to escape the pain, that's all I know. The station's empty now. The last train's pulled away, taking all my hope with it. At the close of day, I missed my chance to board it, missed my final ride. Now I'm just stranded here with nowhere left to hide. The whistle screams a warning, the final fading sound. The last train to salvation, lost and nowhere to be found. I saw your face inside the window, just as it pulled from view. A fleeting final image of everything we had to do. You waved goodbye, I think you did. Or maybe it's a lie, a trick of the fluorescent lights beneath a lonely sky. I should have run right to you, I should have jumped on board, but I was paralyzed by choices, by every bitter word. The station's empty now. The last train's pulled away, taking all my hope with it. At the close of day, I missed my chance to board it, missed my final ride. Now I'm just stranded here with nowhere left to hide. The whistle screams a warning, a final fading sound. The last train to salvation, lost and nowhere to be found. Now I'm just left with luggage I can't carry on my own. All the heavy memories, feeling so alone. The tracks are cold and quiet, the rhythms in my head, regretting every moment that I wish I had instead. I wait until the morning for a different track to form, but I know the last train was my only shield from the storm. The station's empty now. The last train's pulled away, taking all my hope with it. At the close of day, I missed my chance to board it, missed my final ride. Now I'm just stranded here with nowhere left to hide. The whistle screams a warning, a final fading sound. The last train to salvation, lost and nowhere to be found. Nowhere folded your sweaters like you were being gentle. Neat little squares that hid the tremble in your hands. I stood in the doorway, pretending to help, watching the life we had slip through the gaps. The clock kept coughing up minutes we couldn't keep. You zipped the bag and the sound ripped right through me. You said this isn't anybody's fault, like fault was the only thing holding us up. I wanted to scream, I wanted to beg, but the words got stuck behind the line. This is a leaving song, the one I never wanted to learn. You're walking out soft, I'm falling down hard. Every step you take is a bridge getting burned. I'll sing it quiet so the neighbors don't hear. I'll sing it forever when you disappear. This is a leaving song, and darling, it's your turn. You left your blue scarf on the chair by the window. I keep thinking you'll come back when the night gets cold. The hallway still smells like your shampoo and goodbye. Funny how those two things smell exactly the same. Now I found your note on the table, 3 little lines: I'll be okay, take care, I'm sorry. Like sorry could fit in a margin that small. You touched my cheek like you were memorizing the shape, then let your hand fall like it already forgot. I stood there counting heartbeats in the dark. 1, 2, 3, and then you were gone. This is a leaving song, the one that plays when the door shuts slow. I'm learning the words by the sound of my own voice, echoing back in a house I don't know. I'll sing it softer than the rain on the roof. I'll sing it louder than I ever told the truth. This is a leaving song, and I'm still stuck on the first verse. If you hear this someday in some passing car, no, I don't hate you, I just hate how far. 20 steps to the street feels like 20 years, and I'm still standing here, still standing here. Fine, this is a leaving song, I hum it every night to the walls. It gets easier to sing, harder to breathe every time the phone doesn't call. Maybe one day I'll change the last line. Maybe one day I'll say I'm fine, but tonight is still the leaving song. And tomorrow you'll still be gone. Suitcase click, door click, take it. I'm sorry, I'll be okay. This is the leaving song. Good night. Good night. The phone sits dark and lifeless on the table in the hall. You had your chance, you blew it. You didn't make the call. Out of sight, out of mind is what they always say. But the silence that you left behind is where I have to stay. No more conversations, no more late night calls, just the heavy pressure pressing on the walls. The weight of silence is heavier than any scream. It's a suffocating feeling, an endless hollow dream. It speaks 1,000 words that you were too afraid to say. It's the heaviest burden I have to carry every day. It tells me that you're over us, clearer than any sound. The greatest weight I've ever felt, pinning me to the ground.
I replay every moment, every single whispered fight, searching for the warning that the end was in our sight. But it wasn't noise that killed us, it wasn't the slamming door, it was the quiet resignation, the love that was no more. You left no explanation, no final note to read, just a suffocating stillness planting a bitter seed.
The weight of silence is heavier than any scream. It's a suffocating feeling, an endless hollow dream. It speaks 1,000 words that you were too afraid to say. It's the heaviest burden I have to carry every day. It tells me that you're over us, clearer than any sound. The greatest weight I've ever felt, pinning me to the ground. Sometimes I wish you just scream and yell and fight to break this paralyzing, endless quiet night. A war would be easier, a battle I could wage, than this silent, empty turning of a blank, unwritten page. It's crushing me completely, stealing all my air. The weight of everything we lost, the weight of your not care. The weight of silence is heavier than any scream. It's a suffocating feeling, an endless hollow dream. It speaks 1,000 words that you were too afraid to say. It's the heaviest burden I have to carry every day. It tells me that you're over us, clearer than any sound. The greatest weight I've ever felt, pinning me to the ground. Pinning me to the ground. No final sound, just the way to lay silent. We bought a little paint swatch for the nursery wall. We planned the garden layout, we planned the curtain calls. We built a house of dreams, plans we made to last. A perfect little future, now vanishing into the past. The second toothbrush sits there, unused in its cup. A million tiny promises that we just gave up. It's an unused future, a story never told, a beautiful beautiful potential that got nowhere to grow. Baby shoes for sale, never used at all. A life that could have been a silent, empty hall. We had the blueprints ready, we had the perfect view. But every dream we scheduled is now overdue. I still have the ring box hidden in my drawer, a symbol of a question you won't ask anymore. The itinerary for the trip we planned to take is sitting on the counter, for goodness sake. It's like we built a highway right up to the sky, then turn around at the first sign of a teary eye. It's an unused future, a story never told, a beautiful potential that got nowhere to grow. Baby shoes for sale, never used at all. A life that could have been a silent, empty hall. We had the blueprints ready, we had the perfect tune. I visit the location in my mind sometimes, the home we'd fill with laughter, the soft evening chimes. It's perfectly constructed, it's flawless and it's bright, but it only lives in memory, lost to the fading light. It hurts more than the fighting, more than the final scream. It's the silent death of a shared perfect dream. It's an unused future, a story never told, a beautiful potential that got nowhere to grow. Baby shoes for sale, never used at all. A life that could have been a silent, empty hall. We had the blueprints ready, we had the perfect view. But every dream we scheduled is now overdue, now overdue. All the things we plan to do, an empty hall, a silent fall, our unused future, me without you. I'm standing on this riverbank, watching the fire glow, a masterpiece of destruction, putting on a show. It's the only way across the path we used to take. Now a funeral pyre for every single vow we chose to break. The heat hits my face, it's a physical pain, a scorching reminder of what won't remain. We burned the bridge that connected your world and mine, ignited the timber with cheap champagne and wine. Every memory a spark, every fight a bigger flame. Nothing left now but the smoke and the shame. There's no turning back, no way to retreat. just ashes and water in our bitter defeat. We could've walked gently, slowly pulled apart the ties, but we chose the explosion, the sharp sudden demise. I thought the fire would cleanse us, erase the regret, but it just left a chasm I can't forget. The structure is gone, the steel is all warped, the future we pictured has been totally torn. We burned the bridge that connected your world and mine, ignited the timber with cheap champagne and wine. Every memory a spark, every fight a bigger flame. Nothing left now but the smoke and the shame. There's no turning back, no way to retreat, just ashes and water in our bitter defeat. Now I'm on my side, you're on the other shore, screaming the reasons we can't do this anymore. The river runs deeper, the current runs fast, the distance between us is built not to last. We chose this division, this permanent scar, just two lonely souls staring from afar. We burned the bridge that connected your world and mine, ignited the timber with cheap champagne and wine. Every memory a spark, every fight a bigger flame. Nothing left now but the smoke and the shame. There's no turning back, no way to retreat, just ashes and water in our bitter defeat. We burned the bridge, watch it all turn to gray, and now we are stranded forever this way. Two sides of a story that will never align, just staring across the burning line.
Sunlight spilled like honey on the hardwood floor. You were humming something I never heard before. Bare feet in my t-shirt, coffee going cold. We had nowhere to be and a lifetime to hold. Oh. I counted your freckles like stars I could keep. You laughed and said, baby, don't fall too deep. But I was already drowning, already gone, already writing the words to this song. That was back when you still loved me, when forever felt easy and true, when the world was a record spinning slowly and every side ended with you. I didn't know heaven had closing hours, I didn't know love could forget. That was back when you still loved me. God, I'm still living in it. We danced in the kitchen to a radio ghost. You said this is my favorite, nobody knows. I kissed a small scar on your left shoulder blade. Swore I'd love you till both of us faded away. You traced the words stay on the fogged up glass. I thought promises lasted longer than that. Funny how leaving can sound like the rain, soft when it starts, then it breaks you in waves. That was back when you still loved me, when the dark didn't know where we lived, when goodnight was a doorway, not a graveyard, and I still had something to give. I didn't know hearts could change like the weather, I didn't know always could end. That was back when you still loved me. I keep going back there again. Now the house keeps your echo in every room. I talk to the quiet like it might answer soon. I still set your place at the table for two. Some ghosts are just love that forgot what to do. That was back when you still loved me. Now I'm sleeping with memories instead. I still reach for you at 3 in the morning and find the wrong side of the bed. If I could go back to that one perfect day, I'd pause it, I'd beg it, I'd kneel. That was back when you still loved me. And part of me thinks you still do. Tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, tell me the truth. Just tell me something that feels like you. I still hear the morning when you still love me. I still hear the morning when you still